Sorry, my mic was muted. I said, here I am on the Saturday before Easter with the little evil bunny bitch behind me. I can adjust this a little. If I put her in this chair, let me push this back a little. Hang on, folks. How's that? Yeah, there. You can see her over there. Let me move this down a little. Well, so how's everybody been? I'm trying to make some decisions on what to do. Like, I have to apply my focus somewhere. And I don't know whether I should be like the Genesis experiment as a comic book / graphic novel, the Genesis experiment as a novel, Bad Ben as a novel, which I've already done some work on, or Bad Ben as a comic book / graphic novel. Or something different as a comic book / graphic novel, which is Tom Riley, Paranormal Investigator. I don't know. Now, a lot of times I'll take and throw something like that out there, and people will take and say, oh, do this, do that, do this, do the comic book, do this or that. And, I know nobody's intentions are bad, but that individual who actually said, this is an example, do that comic book with Tom Riley, Paranormal Investigator, winds up not even buying it once I do it. So it's just like I have to take and do something that appeals to the largest fan base so that, people buy it. See, I got 5 people watching on X, nobody on Facebook, 1 person on Twitch, and 2 people on YouTube. I know it's a busy day. A lot of people are getting stuff done. Those of you that got kids are probably, hi, Kevin, are probably doing Easter egg hunts and other bullshit, or you got family. And we have a ham and what else do we have? Holly's making deviled eggs. So we're not doing anything super elaborate. We're looking for a movie to watch tonight. Don't know what it'll be yet. Oh, and Archer had surgery on a Thursday. He deviled eggs aren't easy to find anymore, Kevin. The one place we were up at the Amish market the other day on Thursday, after we dropped Archer off at the vet, we went up to the Amish market, and I should have picked up deviled eggs there, and I forgot. So this morning we drove to a couple places, and that's a bit of a haul. It's like 45 minutes, so I didn't feel like going all the way up there. So Holly said, just get the eggs, and I'll make them. So, but Archer, I've told you guys a lot of times how he has to have his anal glands aspirated. I know that's such a pleasant topic. but, or expressed, they call it. It's like basically popping a pimple, but it's their anal glands, which are supposed to release when they go potty. Very graphic. Happy Easter. Um, but one time they told us he's got a little lump there, and we could see, like, on his butthole, there was a little bump. Well, all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, this thing got huge. They said, we'll just keep an eye on it. And all of a sudden, it got huge. Like, I mean, huge. And so I called them. We scheduled surgery for last Thursday. And I always hate, it's so upsetting to me to drop them off for surgery. But, you know, he had to have it done. So took him in. And by 1 o'clock, he was ready to come home. And I show up at the vet's office and I hear this barking. And I said, that's not him, is it? And they said, yep. I'm like, oh my God. Because he was like really carrying on. So I brought him home and he's got like an antibiotic, and he went through it very well. He's got an antibiotic and a pain pill, and he's doing good. So that was our excitement for the week, or our stress for the week. So Kevin, how's liquor sales for Easter? Hey, Deb. Did your daughter come up for Easter? Oh, good. It's good to hear. Um, I'm trying to find out. Kevin, who's in the room also, is a maker or works at a liquor store up in Vermont or Maine. I think it's Vermont or New Hampshire, one of them. I'm trying to find out if it's been a busy liquor day. Lines to the back of the store. Well, you know, it's funny you say that because um, a couple places I went to this morning, relatively early, were packed. I was walking up to the grocery store just to get some soda. And when I walked up, the shopping carts were like 2/3 of them were gone. So I said, uh-oh. And because this particular grocery store is very adamant about removing, getting the carts out of the parking lot back up front. Oh, that's another thing I'll get to. But I got in there and it was busy. Couple places we went, a bakery, they were all busy. On Tuesday of last week or Wednesday, I decided to go to Brute's Roots to get some edible gummies because I haven't been there in like forever. And they don't open till 10. So, and I'm normally home by 10. And so I had to wait. So I drove out to Target in Mays Landing, the Target that's closest to Brute's Roots, which is in my town, but it's a dispensary, a marijuana dispensary. It's on the opposite side of town. So I go over there, and so I have to wait like 15 minutes. So I drive down to Target, walked inside, came out, just sitting in the parking lot for a minute, for a couple minutes until it's close enough in time to go down there to Brute's Roots. And all of a sudden, as I'm sitting in the car with Holly and the dogs, bam, the car gets hit. It was really windy, and a shopping cart came flying across the parking lot and hit the back of the van. Didn't dent the body, but broke the tail light. So a new tail light cost $500. But my buddy Drew down the street said I can get a used one for $175. I said, get a used one. And he did. And guess what? It was brand new. It had all the original packaging. So he changed that out and saved me. Hang on. I'm alive, but I need your opinion. I'll hit you up. So Drew, I do his website for him, and I go in there with cash yesterday to pay him. I mean, I went down there and I said, how long is it going to take? I'll just wait. I could walk home. It's about a 5-minute walk, but I don't like walking on the street out here because there's no real sidewalk or shoulder. Well, there's a shoulder, but it's uneven because it's like built up for the road. And he'll normally give me a ride home. But I said, if they're going to do it now, I'll just wait. So I was talking to Drew and they did it. And I go to pay him. And he says, how much is every time you redo my website? Or do you have to pay anything for that? I said, it's a couple bucks, like $15 a year. Oh, so he hands me back like $80. So this tail light, which costs $500 new, $175 used, and when he gets the used one, it was brand new in the brand new packaging and all, and he gave me $80 back. So it wound up costing me $100. So that's not bad, and I got it replaced fast. So I was so pissed because, you know what? I'm getting pissed about it again. So I ought to do a gummy. This is the kind I got. This is called Encore RSO Indicia Gummies Concord Grape. I ate a whole one the other day and I was fucked up for 2 days. So I don't have anywhere to go today, but I don't want to eat a whole one. I'm going to bite it in half. Oh, fuck it. I'll eat a whole one. The hell? Where the hell else do I have to go? Just don't anybody that know me call me up and say, hey, can you come over? I need your help with something. Because I'll tell you, if you need my help with something, you're going to have to come here. because I'm in no condition to travel. This is going to fuck me up because Holly expects to watch a movie tonight. Ronnie, how are you? Holly expects to watch a movie tonight, and I'm telling you, from about 30 minutes from now until I go to bed, which is probably going to be 5 o'clock now, I'm going to be useless. Ronnie, have you gotten your house put all together now? I know last time we talked, you had your cabinets put in. And I think you finally had a working kitchen again, which is good. I don't know. She was looking at a couple things. We'll watch something, but one of the things too, something we saw is available streaming. I thought the first episode of The Last of Us of the second season was pretty good, but that girl's annoying because she's just trouble. She doesn't listen. She gets in trouble. But we also are watching Hacks, which is good. Handmaid's Tale is good. I started watching The Studio. It's okay, but it's just so much nonsense that I don't know. I don't know that I can handle it. But I am trying to get an opinion. And Ronnie, you can. I'm getting bullied by trans people, by the way. But I'm trying to decide whether I should work on in addition to what I'm doing with the movie, I'm trying to figure out if I should do a comic book of Bad Ben, comic book / graphic novel of Bad Ben, a comic book / graphic novel of Tom Riley, Paranormal Investigator, or a comic book / graphic novel of the Genesis Experiment, or if I should do Bad Ben, the novel, or the Genesis Experiment as a novel. Not a graphic novel, a novel. So I'm trying to decide which one. White Lotus this last season, Holly and I weren't fans of at all. But yes, I'm trying to decide which one to do. So let me tell you how I'm being bullied by I'm sorry, anybody out there that's a lesbian. I'm being bullied by trans. I put up an image of myself for like a comic book frame. And somebody writes, Nigel, if you use any AI, I will never forgive you, which is just like a bullshit thing to say to somebody. You know, if you feel strongly about AI and you want to say, please don't use AI or something, that's one thing, but say, I'll never forgive you. Well, number one, I don't need your forgiveness. But that causes me to ask back a question. Are you a subscriber, or have you ever contributed to anything I've done? I've seen every one of your films. I'm a subscriber. I said, prove it. How the hell do I do that? Give me your email. Let me look you up and see if you've ever been a subscriber. And I said, you can't do it because the answer is no. You've watched them where you can for free or included with Prime, but no, you are not a subscriber and you've never contributed anything. So anyway, then a couple other people write, and I could tell the fact that they're trans has nothing to do with it other than this. Such a marginalized community that has to constantly fight for rights and respect to then take and dish out disrespect. I just find um, bizarre, and so I'm getting I could tell by the person, the more I looked at their profile, it was, they made it clear that they were currently, that they were trans. They made it clear without going in great detail. So then, I said, did you ever subscribe? Did you ever pay anything? And then I started getting other comments, negative comments about AI and how it hurts artists and how it, hurts the environment. So I'm sitting here and it's all Instagram. You know how I've told you before, Instagram is a freak show? It's all Instagram. And it's almost all folks from that marginalized group. And they're doing what I call bullying, or trying to. I can't be bullied, really. But their argument was that it takes work from artists and all. Well, here's the thing, folks. And I could have had an example up here ready to show you, but I didn't put it together. It's my image that I take and apply a filter to that turns it into like a cartoonish type look. It's not what they're talking about that takes artists' work away, is when somebody like types. See, one of the things, the problems with AI, I got this hangnail that's fucking killing me. I'm sorry here. I got to clip this. One of the things that they're talking about is they're saying how it's energy, it consumes energy and all, was that the computer farms which generate the AI use up a tremendous amount of energy. So what I say to them is, look, folks, YouTube has thousands of hours of video uploaded to it daily. Do you boycott them? Do you not watch? No. So that's a non-issue. But the other thing is, they're talking about, this is how an artist gets put out of work. If I were to take and type into an AI program a prompt that said, have a bald 60-year-old guy in front of a 2-story house at night, and it generated an image, that is taking and scouring the web, looking for pictures of bald guys, creating it, and a 2-story house and all. That is what they're talking about, because it grabs pieces of people's artwork and they don't get paid for it or anything. But I took my photograph and turned it into, here, I'm going to open to. I took my photograph and turned it into a image and photoshopped over it, and it's absolutely my photograph. So here's an example. I'll show you. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see if I can do this. All right. So that's a picture of me that I just used a filter with. That's not like some sort of where I typed in a prompt. And like, here's another. Let me show you another. This is a picture of me and Matt, my buddy nurse Matt, and a picture of him that I applied a filter to. But it's not what these AI people were talking about. Was that I typed in, give me a handsome bearded fellow with a baseball hat on, and it created that picture of Matt. And yeah, and when one of the people who he writes yesterday, it's funny because I don't typically block people or delete comments if they're negative because you got to take the good with the bad. But this person wrote, let me see if I can find her comment. Sure. I want a lot. I want to find a particular comment. All right, this guy wrote more low effort. It's. Let me show you the picture. It was. It was this picture, which you guys can tell by looking. That's a picture of me. I took. You see how my arm is out like this? That's because I'm holding my phone. I took a picture of me with my mouth like, and I applied a filter to it, which it's not creating a picture out of nowhere by stealing artist's work. It's mine. So on that picture, he writes, more low effort slop from Egg Harbor Township's most notorious beggar and con artist. So to this person, who I'm pretty convinced is of that same marginalized group, which, you know, I don't give a shit about anybody. But if you're going to have an opinion, you know, you need to, how should I put this? You need to have earned the right to have an opinion. And by that, I mean, like you watch the films or whatever. So I just respond to him, say, why do you follow me? No answer. Mr. Bach, if there's any use of AI involved, I'll never forgive you. And I wrote, are you a subscriber or have you contributed any way to my art? I've seen every Bad Ben movie. I subbed to Bad Ben TV. And anything made by AI, I can hardly be called art. Prove you've been a subscriber to Bad Ben TV, I wrote. How the hell am I supposed to do that? My point exactly, you can't. And that's most likely because you have it. Your opinion means nothing to me. And then somebody writes, not sure why everybody's panties are in a bunch. Nigel Bach, bring it on. Anything Bad Ben, I'm game for. Generative AI is horrible for the environment and draws from databases to copy real artist works. No, it doesn't. That image that's on the screen right now was not drawn from anybody's database to make. It was a filter applied to my face. They're talking about, like I said, show a man with glasses and a blank wall behind him and a jacket and bald with his mouth open. Then it takes and goes out there and it just search for images and puts together something. That's generative. And what you have is you have a bunch of artists that are being ripped off for their works and it's being used in AI and they're, sour about it. I don't blame them. Look, folks, I was making decent money with Amazon, and then they took away our ability to be included with Prime. And anyway, so I understand that, and I understand how people feel about that. And but that's not what this is. This is not. In fact, let me look here. All right. I'll show you the example. Well, that's a bad one. All right. Here it is. Where's my people? Well, you see that picture at the top, right? Let me show you what that picture's from. I wish I could add. Maybe I can. I I can't do. I have to remove this to show you another one. Let me see real quick if I can. All right. That is the I can't add another one. That is the original photo. This program sucks ass. I'm trying to get these up so I can compare them side by side. But anyway, here is the original photo. And here is, oh, well, that doesn't work. Son of a bitch. Oh, what a piece of shit. That's the original photo. That's the photo I made. So, as you can see, it's me. It's my photo that I applied a filter to. I didn't have AI generated. So, anyway. That was me. That was people just being nasty, very nasty, evil people. And I didn't, hang on a second, let me shut this. I didn't delete their comments because it was like, I was trying to prove that I was trying to be a good example to them. You may sit there and, um, you of all people that are in a group that's bullied are trying to bully me, who, by the way, has had my work stolen constantly. And this is me creating original works using filters, which is some AI, but it's not sitting there. Um, it's not like it's stealing someone's artwork. Sheree, I basically given up on trying to do this. I will, you know, I'm doing other things, but um, Bad Ben 15 is not going to be done for Memorial Day, or it's not going to be done for 4th of July. I'll be lucky if it even gets done in the fall, because it just doesn't have the support. People subscribe to the channel. My goal was to make an episode of Leave the Lights On every week, but can't do it. People subscribe for a month, watch everything I've done, and then unsubscribe and wait 6 months more to resubscribe. So, I'm not sitting here anymore begging people to contribute or do anything, because it's just, it's it's the same people that would contribute all the time. And if this stuff by now can't support itself, can't be self-supportive, then I shouldn't be doing this. So the Archer had surgery this week, for those of you that didn't hear. And my car got the tail light busted out by a shopping cart at Target from the wind. And still had a decent week. So I'm glad to see Cherie and Ronnie and Kevin was in here, but he was on break. He's working his liquor store up there in, where did he say, New Hampshire or Vermont? He said was they have 9 cash registers, 8 of which were open, and the line was all the way to the back of the store. And a lot of it was restaurants coming in to buy stuff for tonight, I guess, and tomorrow. A lot of people will go into them. So, but he says it's busy as hell. Archer, you know how he regularly has his anal glands expressed, I talked about? Well, about 2 months ago, they said there's a little tiny like lump there. And it wasn't actually on his anal gland, but it was on his butthole. And anyway, 2 weeks ago, the thing just got huge. And when I say huge, I would say like the size of a Ferrero Rocher, one of those things. And so I took him to the vet and we scheduled it and had it removed this past Thursday. And it was, it doesn't appear to be cancerous, and it wasn't tied into his anal glands or anything. It was just a mass that formed. And so the biggest challenge for the past 2 days was to keep him from licking his backside. And we did. He's been pretty good about it. But he appears to be fine. And so there was that. And he, and like I said, a shopping cart flew into the back of the van while I was parked waiting for the weed store to open. The hell you gonna do, folks? But he's doing good. The only thing is, when he gets his pain medication, which he gets a half a pill every 12 hours, he tends to get a little loopy and he drools. But where he had his surgery, it doesn't look as angry as it did yesterday or the day before. So he's all right. But thanks for wondering. Sable wasn't happy when he was not with us for a couple hours. She's not used to not having the two of them around. And but she's okay now. So again, what I'm trying to decide is, do I want to do the Genesis experiment as a novel, the Genesis experiment as a comic, Bad Ben as a novel, Bad Ben as a comic, or Tom Riley, Paranormal Investigator, as a novel / graphic novel. So I'm not sure which one I want to start with. I have much of Bad Ben done as a novel. I have a lot of the Genesis experiment. In fact, I have that as a novel, but I'm rewriting it. But I'm not sure which one I want to do first. Hi, Adam. So anyway, folks, I came on mid-afternoon, and I'm going to hop off of here now, but I will be back. Who knows when I'll be back, but I will talk to you soon. See ya. Love you. Bye.